Hello everyone. Given the scenes we've seen around the world, it was almost surprising that by and large politics has been kept away from India's fight against the coronavirus. The opposition hasn't really taken on government. By and large, the centre and the states have worked together with a measure of cooperation and solidarity with each other. Now, of course, some sides are starting to fray. So, for example, we've had some sniping between political parties in the last few days. Today, Rahul Gandhi came out and said that it does seem as if the lockdown has failed because India is perhaps the only country in the world, he said, where cases are still increasing exponentially and yet the lockdown is being lifted, and he wanted the government to explain its strategy going forward. And all of this while there seems to be a certain amount of political strife in Maharashtra, which is of course the worst affected state, and where it looks as if not just the BJP attacking the government out there, but today it almost seemed as if Rahul Gandhi was distancing himself just a little bit from the government in Maharashtra. So politics seems to be back, and I guess in any democracy you will have politics. Let's just hope that none of this actually takes away from the fight against the real enemy, which obviously right now is both the coronavirus and the economic devastation that it has unleashed upon the country. Let's just quickly bring you up to date with all the big stories.
Congress leader Rahul Gandhi on Tuesday trained guns at the Modi government over its handling of the COVID outbreak. Addressing a virtual press meet, Gandhi said that India is the only country where the virus is exponentially rising and we're removing the lockdown. He added that the aim and purpose of the lockdown has failed. India is facing the result of a failed lockdown.
We are the only country in the world where the virus is exponentially rising, and we are removing a lockdown. So it is pretty clear that the aim and the purpose of our lockdown has failed. What India is facing now in front of us is the result of a failed lockdown.
BJP leader Devendra Fadnavis has said that Congress leader Rahul Gandhi's remarks on his party's role in the Maharashtra government are aimed at pinning blame for failure in handling the COVID-19 situation on the Shiv Sena and Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray. He also distanced the BJP from demands for imposition of President's rule in the state and dismissed speculation that the opposition was trying to destabilize the government. Fadnavis said speculative statements like opposition are trying to destabilize the Sena-led government are being purposefully made to divert the attention of people from the government's failure.
NCP Supremo Sharad Pawar on Tuesday scoffed at the rumours of a rift within the Maharashtra ruling coalition. In an interview to NDTV, Pawar stressed that there was no threat to the coalition while taking a swipe at former Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. The Maratha strongman termed Fadnavis an impatient man. Pawar's meeting with Maharashtra Governor and Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray on Monday sent the rumour mill abuzz about an impending political crisis in the state.
The Congress on Tuesday accused Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath of targeting Dalits by saying that a large proportion of migrant workers returning home are infected with coronavirus. Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra had on Monday taken on Adityanath over his remark that 75% of UP workers returning from Mumbai are infected, questioning the math. In a video clip, Adityanath was also heard saying that 50% of workers returning from Delhi have coronavirus and 25 to 30% from other states are similarly infected. The Congress said most migrant workers are Dalits or belong to the backward castes, and Chief Minister's misleading statement could lead to social hatred.
Quarantine is for commoners, not our netas. Union Minister Gowda landed in Bengaluru on Monday and refused to quarantine himself as is mandated by the Karnataka government for every individual arriving in the state. Gowda justified it, saying that these rules apply to citizens but not to him as he has important responsibilities. Soon after, the Karnataka government amended its quarantine order to exempt ministers and state officials engaged in COVID duties. The Rajasthan government has allowed taxis and auto-rickshaws to operate in the red zones of the state. The state government has also lifted the ban on the sale of pan, gutkha and tobacco products while making it clear that spitting in public is still a punishable offence. Amending the Lockdown 4.0 guidelines, the government allowed the use of taxis, including Ola and Uber, and auto-rickshaws within the red zones on a condition that social distancing and sanitization will be ensured.
The centre has said a total of 60,490 patients have recovered so far from coronavirus across the nation, which means the recovery rate continues to improve and presently it is 41.61%. Love Agarwal, the Joint Secretary in the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, said on Tuesday that the fatality rate is among the lowest in the world. It is 2.87% now. 4.4 deaths per lakh population have been reported for the world, while India has reported about 0.3 deaths per lakh population. The centre said this has been due to lockdown, timely identification and management of coronavirus cases. Shi Zhengli, a virologist renowned for her work in coronavirus in bats, has said that the viruses being discovered now are just the tip of the iceberg, and called for international cooperation in the fight against epidemics. In an interview to Chinese state television CGTN, Zhang Li said that research into viruses needs scientists and governments to be transparent and cooperative. She added that we must learn in advance about these unknown viruses carried by wild animals in nature and give early warnings to prevent humans from suffering. Zheng Li is the Deputy Director of Wuhan Institute of Virology, the lab being blamed for releasing the deadly virus. She told CGTN that the genetic characteristics of the viruses she worked with didn't match those of the coronavirus spreading in humans.
The WHO has warned of a second peak in coronavirus infections in countries where the cases are declining if they let up too soon on measures to halt the outbreak. The world is still in the middle of the first wave of the coronavirus outbreak, WHO Emergencies Head Dr. Mike Ryan told an online briefing. Ryan noted that while cases are declining in many countries, they're still increasing in Central and South America, South Asia, and Africa. He said epidemics often come in waves, which means that outbreaks could come back later this year in places where the first wave has subsided.